Warning, this show contains strong language, brutal opinions, and zero apologies given. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to Savaged Unfiltered, where truth gets raw, opinions stay real, and nothing is off limits. This isn't your average podcast. It's the unfiltered conversation you've been craving. Politics, culture, chaos, we're diving into it all. No scripts, no safe spaces, just savage takes and real talk. You're in the right place. Strap in. It's time to get unfiltered. Savage.
Hey guys, what is going on? Happy Sunday, guys. We're live streaming here on a special broadcast. Normally don't do it on Sundays, but hey, I'm in a good mood. I hope you guys are in a good mood, and we got a lot to go here on Savage Unfiltered. Hope you like the denim. Picked up a nice little denim jacket on Amazon. Yeah, I like Amazon, even though people give me shit for it. All that shit is purchased and manufactured in China. Listen, guys, 90% of our stuff comes from China and other worldly countries, right? I mean, at this point, hey, I think we're all guilty of shopping on Amazon. I love Amazon. Good stuff, guys. Guys, today's show is being brought to you by our good friends at Bucked Up. That's right, guys. What is Bucked Up? Bucked Up is a sports nutrition of a company. I love them, guys. And I love Sarah here. I think I got her name right. It's Sarah. She's always giving those flexes, right? Actually, I like this. Makes my arms a little bit bigger than they normally are. I think I'll wear this jacket from now on. Guys, check out Bucked Up, guys. For joining them and checking them out today, we're going to give you a special deal on us. That's right, guys. By using the code SAVAGED1, you're going to get 15% off your order on everything. That includes their energy drinks. That includes their merchandise. That includes their supplements, their sports supplements, everything, guys, including their new female products of Babe. That's BABE, right? Babe. So all my ladies out there, if you're trying to question, well, does this company have female products for, women that like to work out? Absolutely. Absolutely they do. Scan the QR code, guys. Everything about this amazing company can be found at buckedup.com. That's right, guys. Bucked Up. Fuel the hunt. Empower your workouts, right? And join the movement today. Thank you very much, Bucked Up, for not only partnering with the show, but sponsoring the show as well. Oof. So, guys, today we're going to start off with the constant leftist spin, right? And gets the heart of what the Democrats are trying to do. You notice why I'm calling this episode Swipe, Scam, and Hurt. And I'm going to get there with that and why I feel that this episode should be called Swipe, Scan, and Hurt. All right? Because they want you to swipe to their posts. They want you to swipe to their videos. They want you to look at the amount of fear that they're trying to orchestrate to America. That's their golden plan for 2025 and going forward. They want that. They want that fear-mongering. They want that that fear of hysteria. They want people to understand that Donald Trump is creating chaos within America. Everything he touches goes to shit. Shit, I say. I can see it right now. Nancy Pelosi sitting in her multi-million-dollar mansion somewhere, right out there in commie California, right? He is the worst president ever. Did you guys catch that video of Nancy Pelosi, by the way? She was on, I believe she was on Newsweek or, one of those, stupid, far left outlets out there just the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. And they were, going through, different graphics and everything real quick. And I'll, kind of land my plane here. And they showed a video of President Trump literally coming off of Marine One and walking, across the lawn there to the White House. And as soon as they showed him walking, she's flipping out. Literally flipping out. And look, guys, there's the president. Yeah, the president's walking. The worst president in our lifetime. Talk about Trump derangement syndrome, right? TDS, right? She has it, folks. But today, I want to bring on my good friend, okay, because we're going to get into the food stamps. We're going to get into the shutdown leverage of all that, okay, because it's gone way too far, okay? And then I want to kind of save a little bit towards the end of the show, guys, and talk about, how they're, creating more hysteria within Turning Point USA, including the latest, event with Vice President JD Vance and Erica. The left is, they're having fun with AI, right? They're making it out like, they're both making out and kissing on stage, and she's holding his head inappropriate. A widow or a married woman does not hold the head like that. Oh, okay. Obviously, these people have no idea what compassion or sentiment series of events means, right? They live in misery their entire life. So we're going to get to that, guys. Stick around on live stream. But first and foremost, I do want to bring in my good friend here to the show. Haven't had him on in a while. Sauce, welcome in, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, it's going great. It is great to see you, Michael. You wouldn't believe it has been what a week it has been. And I want to tell you, I have definitely started diving into the political spectrum again. And I have to keep telling people.
Yeah.
It seems like no matter I think I've taken a step back from politics, thinking I could try like a new avenue and stuff. It seems like I've gotten away from like actual podcasting. I put about 3 episodes in, but way like we were talking about a few months back. But it seems like I've been doing more content creating on Facebook and stuff, and I'm definitely back in the politics scene, which probably doesn't surprise you at all, does it?
No, it doesn't surprise me one damn bit, Sauce, and I could tell you why. It doesn't surprise me first and foremost. Sauce and I were talking off air here a little bit. Spoiler alert. That's right, guys. Spoiler alert. Sauce was asking me that very same question before we went on the air. Does it surprise you that I'm getting attacked again? Does it surprise you that these people are acting psychotic and acting like a bunch of lunatics once again? No, it doesn't surprise me one damn bit. That's just the way they are, Sauce. So,
Well, they are nuts. And, so I got to tell you the craziest thing that happened. Okay.
Yeah.
So
what happened? What happened? Tell my audience here what's going on with Sauce. Like, why is he getting attacked again?
Yes. So I don't know if you want to play the clip, but I posted a clip, which I did not expect to get at least a very huge ground on all of my platforms. I did not expect to get blown up this much or get trending this much. But if you want to pull up the clip of one of the House Democrats saying, well, we're using this as a pawn, that's number one. And then number two, okay, is you're more than welcome to check through my feed. Then I post kind of a reaction where the food stamps, where there's over 42 million people. And I'm telling, hey, if you are perfectly capable and healthy to work, you don't deserve food stamps. And let alone as an illegal immigrant, you do not deserve any of our taxpayer money. So long story short, give or take a couple of days, it made its rounds on the internet and on like the platforms and stuff. So then I contact Senator Baldwin's office. And I was going to try to.
Well, before you go any further, let's play that clip here before Sauce gets a little, he explains it here, because I really want to show my audience what this is in reference to, guys. Check this out.
Nothing's just
terrible, and of course there will be families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously, but it is one of the few leveraged times we have.
How disgraceful is that, though? So that just shows you their true colors, saying that, well, we're okay. This is if there's a clip, I want this clip to be saved, and I'm going to repost it. That's because I'm going to say this. Okay, the fact that you have House Democrats saying this is our only chance, and that we have um, we're using this government shutdown as a leverage, and that, well, okay, well, thank you very much for your vote, but we're going to use it as a pawn because that's pretty much what you're worth. That what are you elected for? And why are you utilizing and just looking down upon your voter base, your air traffic control, your Teamsters were at the White House, like, and you have people begging you, Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, to open up the government. It takes 5 votes. How is it that you have Fetterman, the senator from Maine, and then you have another Democrat senator, I think might be, I don't know what state, oh, Georgia, voting to open the government, but then you have the other 45 Democrats that are super extreme and just are against voting the government. It's like, what planet do you live on? And the fact that you're getting paid is just absolutely mind blowing. And I want to tell anyone that's listening as well, I truly feel bad for you. The people that voted for Harris and stuff, I feel bad, but at the same time, you voted for this person. It is hard for me to kind of feel bad for you because you vote this party line and you kind of deserve it. I know I'm going to get a lot of feedback for this and a lot of flack, but you vote for this knowing that, well, we're going to accept it, and now you're feeling the pain. I, who voted as for President Trump and a Republican down the ticket, I do feel the pain, but I'm taking action and I'm contacting lawmakers. I'm taking action and I'm contacting people that are my either Congress and senators. What are you guys doing? Nothing besides going on TikTok and complaining. Oh, well, I can't feed my kids and I can't feed my 7 kids because my baby daddies won't support me and stuff. And oh, I pay $50 of rent because your taxpayers do it. What? Get a job. Job. What's wrong with that term? But
Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And Sauce, you're not the only one. You're not the only one that is feeling this amount of stress, right? Trying to get the message out there. There are people out there, particular in your situation. Voice it out, guys. Check this video out.
Nothing's just straight talk.
You got people all over the internet talking about if they don't get their food stamps next month, how they gonna go into these people's stores and take what they need. Talking all bold, like people owe them something. But I got a question. What makes you think that you entitled to take anything that you ain't worked for? You want another man or woman to get out there, plow the field, break their backs, while you sit back and watch, and you want to eat off their labor? The devil is a lie. That's what you call bold, entitled, warped way of thinking. If you mad at anybody, talk to God about it because it's in his word. If a man chooses not to work, then he should not eat. God never blesses idleness. He blesses the works of our hands. Not all of these excuses, entitled mindsets coming out of our mouths. You wouldn't let us move into your place, eat your food, use your water, or sleep in your bed without your permission, right? So, why would you try to sit up here and justify going into these people's stores that they built with their sweat, hours, and sacrifice? We got to stop glorifying self-inflicted struggles. Get up off your behind and do what they're asking you to do. 20 hours, that's it. You do it with everything else. God feeds the birds. He just expects that the nest be built. So if you got questions, here's the answers. Stop waiting for a handout. Stop moving your mouth. Start moving them hands. Because guess what? If you don't work, it's 9 times out of 10, you not going to eat.
I want to, before I bring Sauce back in and get his comment on that, because she used a lot of powerful scripture there, right? God, and I kind of forgot how she said it because she said it real quick. God will feed you, right? But he expects the nest to be built. Does anybody understand what that means? I think I understand what she means by that, Sauce. Okay, because she used some really, really powerful stuff. Do you want to comment on any of that?
Yes. So what she's saying is that get a job, because if you get a job, God will provide, because He sees your labors and He sees your work that you're putting, and He also sees the efforts. Even if you have to go outside, I think He wants what she's saying is that she wants God to have an improved society and an improved community, not freeloaders taking off of what your neighbors and then still complaining about it's not enough. I think that's what she's saying. And I totally agree with that. And I guess, I don't know, like what I posted and what I thought about today and stuff is, the whole $1.5 trillion and the whole government shutdown. I think you're starting to see that when you flood this country full of illegal aliens, and that the Democrats promised all these things, then the Democrats are forced to deliver, because then they lose their votes. And that's not democracy. That's called a dictatorship. And I'm thinking that's where you have the AOCs and the Madanis or whatever his name is, Zoran Madani. And then you have Bernie Sanders of this world. And that's where you see the shift in this government and kind of your freedom being taken away. So I really hope that the Republicans don't use a nuclear option, because here's my warning. If John Thune or your high-ranking Republicans even tease a nuclear option, now what a nuclear option is when it comes to a funding bill, you have to have a 60-40 vote. So 2/3 majority. The nuclear option is you get rid of that 60-40 vote, and then you just have to do over 50% or 50% of the House votes. The problem is that the UN Senate will not always be Republican. It will be a Democrat, and then therefore the Democrats can push whatever they would like, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to, in a way, they're trying to undermine and just really discredit and try to force the Republicans into doing a nuclear option, and that way they want the nuclear option to be pushed, so that the bigger picture of it is they can make DC a statehood. They can make Puerto Rico a statehood. They can add more, pack the Supreme Court. And see, the bigger picture of this, the shutdown, is more than what most people think. And I'm thinking this is where the Republicans still have to hold their ground and not cave into the pressures and really push the messaging on the Democrats and say, no, the Democrats forced this. Don't resort to the nuclear option, because it's like opening Pandora's box. Once you open it, you're not getting that puppy back in.
Yeah. Now, like, I want to dive deep into a little bit more of that video we showed, just briefly before we're kind of going into this topic. They chose this particular stance against you, Sauce, and I want to put it up here. This was actually just literally thrown right at Sauce here. Okay, Mr. Tiemanson, I would tread carefully if I were you. Sauce, what the hell are they talking about here?
So going back to, I was, of course, I'm on the road. You probably know I'm on the road. But then I was like, why would you vote 13 different times to say no? Like, why would you vote no? And why would you vote no on paying the veterans and paying like our service members? Well, what I didn't realize was that instead, they didn't answer my questions, by the way. They didn't say, Mr. Tiemanson, have a great day and all that. Instead, I got, Mr. Tiemanson, I would tread very carefully if I were you. I don't know. What does that sound to you, Michael, if I may ask? When somebody says that to you, when a city lawmaker's office says that to you, what does that sound? What does that imply?
It implies as a threat. It implies as somebody trying to use my words, and I'm going to quote my good friend there, Dan Bongino, hat tip to you, sir. You're doing great there in the FBI. Continue the work, by the way. But to kind of get back to what Sauce is talking about, sounds Sound bites and snapshots. There we go. I had to get it correct there, guys. That's what they're doing against you guys. And that's why I brought the reference Dan Bongino, because he would forever use that term on his podcast, the Dan Bongino Show, of snapshots and sound bites. They are trying to use your sound bites and your snapshots on social to try to use leverage into conservative America. And they're using you for an example. And why they are using that, Sauce, is beyond me. And that's what I see. I'm trying to see that they're trying to, use it against you, but I'm trying to understand why they are using it against you, because they've been doing this for quite some time against you on social media. Do you want to elaborate a little bit of what I'm referring to?
I think you're gonna have to refresh me. I don't know. You're gonna have to. Can you refresh me on that?
There's nothing really to refresh us. I'm talking about like how they've used this type of rhetoric against you in the past years. They've called you a Russian spy against America. You're an official of a Russia. They're also calling you a bot. They're calling you un-American. They're calling you all this stuff. I've had people on my show, literally, and Sas understands where I'm going with this. People from I'm not going to say her name, but from Kami, California, labeling Sauce the very same things that they're labeling against him right now. That's what I'm referring to, Sauce.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I just want people to hear that from other person. I knew exactly what you're referring to, and I just want to make sure that I wanted somebody else to say, "Hey, this is what's going on." I feel bad for him, because if I say it myself, then it seems like I'm just enjoying it. By the way, I'm not enjoying I would say, is it interesting? I could say I'm living rent free in a lot of people's minds. I can say that. And for that particular person, I think in California, I think it's time I would like to have an 85-inch plasma TV, by the way, if you wouldn't mind. If she's listening.
Sauce, I'm putting it on the Amazon wish list there for you, and it's ready in the mail. It's ready in the mail for you.
Please do. And I believe can you go to Costco too and get some like hors d'oeuvres and sushis, because the fridge is empty.
Now you understand where Sauce, somewhat lives. I don't want to dox his location, but like we don't have a lot of Costco's down here in the state of Georgia, Sauce. So I'd have to go to like California, maybe Sam's Club or anything,
in California, what I'm referring to is I'm living in people's minds, which I'm not there, but it's interesting. But here's the thing, I was
going to ask you, Sauce, what the hell do they mean with this tread carefully? It is a threat, but explain to them what they mean by this. Is it because of posts? Is it that you show an immediate threat to the Democratic leftist party? Like, what do they mean by this?
Well, I don't really know. I guess I don't really know what they mean by tread very carefully. But am I still going to post stuff? And yes, did I post a reaction? Absolutely, because I think it's okay for them to use strong rhetoric, but when we use it, and when we use the rhetoric and we call it out the way it is, I think it's important that we understand. Give a little bit of their own taste of medicine, and I don't think they like that.
No, they don't like it one bit, and this is what, like I put this in here very appropriately, guys, with the Democratic jackass there in a straitjacket. That's what they belong. They belong in straitjackets for type of rhetoric, even with our good friend Sauce here, because this is where they're going with this, Sauce. They want the hysteria. They want the sympathy clauses across all platforms. They're doing it against food stamps. They're using that as a damn leverage with the government shutdown. And they know that if they play that little, harmonica with the soft, mellow music, then they're gonna pin it on President Trump, right before he leaves office, and they're gonna say, "See, I told you he was full of shit. He promised all this stuff, and he's not delivering. He's causing more people to go on food stamps if there's anything left of it." And now that he's putting it on pause and no one's going to get food stamps. Oh boy. But they're not telling the real story of it, Sauce. They're not telling real stories.
well, they're not really telling the stories that half of the people on no, there shouldn't be 42 million people on food stamps. There shouldn't be no 42 million people on food stamps. And let alone, we shouldn't be like, it shouldn't be that easy and accessible. But half of the 42 million people are illegal immigrants that are on our tax dollars. So a lot of them, for example, as an American citizen, each month I'm allocated $34.12 if I were on food stamps. I did the math right before I came on the show. Now, if I were a legal immigrant, guess how much I get paid? $135 a month. So that's almost a 200% difference in more money. So it seems like I'm better off being a legal immigrant and getting, like Elon Musk also stated the best way. The reason why they're also freaking about the government shutdown is because a lot of these hotels are going to say, whoa. Like, we're just handing them over to ICE because you're not paying our fair share. Like, for example, the big hotel in New York City, before the government shut down, they were paying them $60 million to house illegal immigrants at this hotel, in the Wardrobe Hotel, a 5-star hotel in New York City. Now, because they didn't get their money for October, they're just handing them over to ICE. And these are all illegal immigrants that are MS-13, gangbangers, violent and rapists and pedophiles. And that's what they're freaking out about.
Well, it's good that you brought up that, and everyone wants to understand, like, what's really going on. In my opinion, Sauce, it is the shutdown setup. And what I mean by that, guys, is let's start with the basics here, right? The fiscal year literally started off on October 1st, right? If I have my math correct, right around October 1st, right? And boom, the shutdown, right? So the Republicans hold the House, right? A slim Senate majority, and the White House under President Trump, right? A clean continuing resolution, right? It passed the House multiple of times, right? Senate Republicans have votes, right? 53 to 47, kind of something similar to what Sas just said. And all it needed was 7 or 8 Democrats to flip. And boom, we're open for business. But yet alone, the Democrats, they don't want to say that, Sauce. They don't want to go into that voting scenario with the 53 to 47 to flip it and to get everything back open. No, Sauce. They want to have this delusion, this set of a mindset to basically manipulate the general public and thinking that it's all Donald Trump, it's all the House Republicans, and it's all the Senate's problem, right? They are the ones that created this mess. But yet alone, Chuck Schumer there, old Chucky Schumer, he doesn't want to bring that up. They want to pivot that entire thing. And it's quite baffling. It really is. Guys, I want to play a video of Sauce basically going into this here. He put this on his social, guys. Check this video out.
Nothing's just
Hello guys, I hope you're having an awesome day because I sure am. Well, you are going to be absolutely mind blown, and I was mind blown too. So apparently, if you are a conservative, which I am, and you want to call the other side, which I did, I called a Democrat senator, and all I asked is, why did you vote 13 different times to keep the government shut down? And when you had other senators, your colleagues, like John Fetterman and 2 other Democrat senators, vote in favor to keep the government open. The response, and the only response I got, now Mr. Timmonson is my last name. Okay, quote, Mr. Timmonson, I would tread very carefully if I were you. Let that sink in. And that sunk in for me for the past couple of afternoons. And you wonder why I don't really want to talk to the other side, because you have that strong rhetoric. Remember to keep it saucy.
So why? Yeah. So what? If I can see why I don't want to talk to the other side anymore, because why would I want to? Why see? And I can see why the Republicans don't really want to talk to the other side either, because of that strong rhetoric and that strong of a tone. Mr. Timmonson, I would tread very carefully if I were you, or tread very lightly if I were you. Or Mr. Timmonson, you're a Russian agent, or you're communist, and all this, and then that. Why would I want to talk to the other half? And why would I want to talk to the other half? that now is glorifying in like the ballroom. It's like, don't you have two functioning brain cells? Like, don't you have understanding and complexity that your own teamster, who's a lifelong Democrat, went to you guys and negotiated? And Chuck Schumer, who's got like zero brain cells, but will do anything for AOC because he'll get on his force for AOC and Bernie Sanders and says, "Oh yes, master, I will keep this government closed. Oh yes, master, take it from the back or do something weird, you know, And it's like there's no point of negotiating."
Sash, you went there, but I understand what you mean by that. I put up this graphic here, Sash. Sorry to kind of chime in, but people are trying to like understand what does this mean, and I'm going to explain it there, Sash, if I may. Right?
Go for it.
The video that Sash is referring to through the House Minority Whip, and I'm using this as an example because she's a whip, right? Catherine Clark, okay? Let it slip in a Fox News interview where she basically went into this. Shutdowns are terrible. Families are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very, very seriously. But here's the kicker, guys. What she is not telling you that is the responsibility that she supposedly takes seriously, right? Is the leverage slipping in a $1.5 trillion in extras, like extending HCA subsidies that pull sky high, but come with strings attached to immigrant health care, foreign aid bloat, which is part of the SNAP program. They're not telling you all that. They're just pulling the strings, folks. They're telling you that everything is on the right. Everything is on the Republicans. They're not telling you that, Sauce, are they not? They're not telling you one damn bit of it, Sauce, are they?
No, and isn't that kind of dishonest? $1.5 trillion? Like, what are you gonna do? Oh, but the thing I don't like them doing this. Oh, it's got to deal with healthcare, and the premiums, and keeping the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare thing going, the ACA. Why are they so obsessed? But that's how they weaponize it though, through healthcare. And that thing just drives me up the wall, and it's just so like it's very dishonest. And the fact that the House Democrats are using that and weaponizing it. But at the same time, you have so many complacent voters that watch CNN, that watch MSNBC, that watch the legacy media say, "Oh, well, Trump is cutting off my healthcare and he's cutting off my Medicare and stuff." No, you jackasses. He's not doing that, and the Republican Party doesn't want to do that. He's going after the NGOs, that non-government officials, shipping millions of illegal immigrants over this border, placing them in certain states, in certain cities, so that they can flood the ballot boxes. That's what that $1.5 trillion does, is they're buying votes. I don't know how people can't understand that, and that is not democracy. That's called killing the damn country. Pardon my language.
Well, Sauce, we are catching some attention on Facebook. Kat Dawson is basically putting this in here. We'll put it in here. Considering the fallout, over 800,000 federal workers are furloughed, right? Or working without pay, forcing many to skip meals, delay medical care, or rack up credit card debt just to cover the basics. Sauce, do you have a comment on that?
I do, actually. That is called, there is this thing called the food pantry. And there's this, and this kind of goes back to, this might sound cynical, but there's an emergency fund and a savings account. Once your income stops, you go tap into your emergency fund, because this would be considered as an emergency. And a lot of these people, I've noticed, a lot of people live outside their means. They live outside beyond their budget. And so, of course, they're going to take more credit card bills. Of course, they're going to do this. And then they get in credit card debt, and they just get in the spiral down to the point where they like foreclosures or all that. It's once again, The credit cards are a horrible thing to do because that
Sauce,
is
she seems to be like right against you there. She's got some
Oh,
more
I'm sure
stuff
she
here.
is.
There's some like 2 other comments we'll post in here. And if you want to comment, I'll leave a little bit here so you can read it. Here's something here with businesses near military base. Check this out. And I'll repeat it here, and please chime in if you like after I say it. Businesses near military bases and national parks, think restaurants in Huntsville, Alabama, or tour operators in Yellowstone, are seeing revenues plummet as federal families hunker down. Okay, there's some more here I'll put in. She goes into small entrepreneurs, SBA loans. She's basically. She's going into a lot here, Sauce. One more, and then we'll let you chime in if you like. Going into Massachusetts, right? Republicans have passed clean funding bills 12 times. Bipartisan olive branches you've rejected in favor of leverage. She thinks that we rejected that in favor of leverage, if I kind of read that correctly.
She's probably looking for bait. She's probably like looking for like clickbait and trying to look for attention. I don't know what she's on. To tell you the truth, I don't know if she's like understanding the gravity. I don't know if she reads the bills. As a person that does read the bills and a person that does communicate to the government officials and employees, I think there's bigger issues at hand, and there's bigger there's a lot more underlying issues. Like for example, when you look at the government and stuff, the furloughs and stuff, you knew this was going to happen because of either AI, number one, taking over the military institutions and taking over the air traffic control. That's number one. Number two, you also know that it's just the way, like the pushing to get rid of DEI hires. And I think that's what embedded and cancered a lot of our government institutions. That's number two. And last but not least, the third is you also have just people like, either just quitting because they don't like the administration, because they're too they make you work, and they make you work and they make you do stuff, unlike the previous administration just allowed anyone to come on in and you got paid, didn't matter what you did, and people stole your suitcases, aka the TSA supervisor, that guy that from Minneapolis, which don't get me started on Minneapolis and Minnesota. That country that's next door to me is completely nuts.
Well, Sauce, I just want to mention this. She is Canadian, by the way.
That big.
I put it in there for you so you can see. She is Canadian. So, as a Canadian, why are you so damn interested in American politics? We should also be talking about how Justin Trudeau has a new lover, right? But that's going off course, right? We don't want to talk about that. Everybody knows what Justin Trudeau and Katy Perry have become that item now, right?
Man, I think
let's not have fun with that, though. Yeah,
I think Justin Trudeau was married. I guess he divorced and got a downgrade from Katy Perry. I don't know. That's a downgrade.
Whatever works for Justin, I guess, right?
Yeah, you gotta keep. Yeah, I don't know. Well, the other thing is, okay, can I touch base on, so switching topics, okay, I'm going to hit this conservative person.
Before you do that, Sauce, I do have to get a quick break in if you don't mind. Is that okay? Okay, yeah, guys. Sauce is like literally on point here, but I got to give a big shout out to our friends over there at Blackout Coffee. That's right, guys. Blackout Coffee, South Florida's most favorite coffee company, and probably America's most favorite company in the entire country with Blackout, right, guys? Stay free, stay awake, choose Blackout Coffee. And choose this one, guys. This is my favorite here. I'm trying to get Sauce is a coffee drinker. I know you're a coffee drinker, Sauce. I'm going to try to get you to go over to, yeah, damn right, over to Blackout and try Brutal Awakening. Right, Sauce, I'll send you I'll send you like a whole box of it. I have it actually, at the house. A whole box of Brutal Awakening that I've gotten from Blackout. So, guys, for checking them out today, use this code Savaged15. That's right, guys, Savaged15. They're going to give you amazing deals on us by checking them out, guys. Scan this QR code if you are checking us out on video. For my audio listeners, guys, just put the code in SAVAGED15. That's SAVAGED15. Choose a company that does not support wokeism, that doesn't support any of that garbage. They are an American traditional company. That's great. What? What's that? What? Right? Like Mrs. Crabtree from South Park. What? Right? They are an American company. Mrs. Crabtree in South Park would love this company. Telling you, South Park, create an episode about blackout because I think it would be tremendous. But Sauce, I'm sorry I had to get that in, but floor is all yours, buddy.
You're good. Okay, so there's this other thing that I've been going across my feed. Okay, what is Candace Owen drinking or consuming? Like, what is going on with her? Like, she has lost all credibility. The fact that, like, some of her weird conspiracies, Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk somehow filed for divorce, and then she's got some papers she probably got from ChatGPT of, she put it in the prompt, give me the divorce papers Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk. I want you to print that in so I can use that as evidence, number one. Okay. Number two, saying
we'll save that because we're going to talk about that towards the end.
Okay.
Sauce is giving out a spoiler right before. We're going to talk about that before the time's up here on the show. But I want you to get into what you just said before I kind of rudely interrupted you, Sauce. I'm sorry. What you were like right before the break with Blackout, which are good friends there on X. I don't know if you've seen that, Sauce, but they were like basically saying, put it up again. Yeah. What about Starbucks? What about Starbucks? I don't support that commie fucking company. It's a terrible company, by the way. Can't stand Starbucks. It's crazy.
Hey, you're talking to a shareholder. I own Starbucks.
What?
I own Starbucks shares.
Sauce, they have transgender bathrooms, for God's sakes. I don't know. No. I'm sorry.
I also own Dunkin' Donuts too, so.
Oh. That was a joke. It went right over my fucking head, but yeah.
I own shares, but it's fine.
Anyway, no, Sauce, what were you talking about? Like what we kind of went into the break there. You were talking about something and I kind of cut you off there a little bit.
With Candace Owens?
Yeah, you got into Candace Owens a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. What is going on with her? Like, I do not understand. Like, I just don't understand, I guess. She's coming up with all these allegations. She's coming up with all these weird conspiracies. And at the same time, she's supposed to be a Republican. And then you have the legacy media and the garbage media saying, oh, well, you have the garbage media going along with it. And it's just disgusting. I don't know. What do you think of this whole thing?
I think Candace Owens lost her fucking mind, to be honest with you. I think she's in the deep end. I really do, Sauce. I truly believe this. I truly believe that Candace Owens and these supposed claims that she's coming out with against Charlie Kirk, I was going to kind of go in there last minute here of the show, right as we got approached to the hour mark. But, Sauce is making good points. Let's go there. I think we all kind of understand what's going on with this government shutdown, guys. They're using it and they're leveraging the hell out of it. It's the swipe, scam, and hurt agenda by the radical left. And Sash, you kind of went into a good segue here with Candace Owens. She's to be blamed with this whole swipe, scam, and hurt agenda as well. Because she's doing it with Turning Point USA. She's doing it with every conservative in America because this supposed conservative, which I think Candace Owens is full of shit, to be honest with you. I think all these claims that she has, I really don't think that they're accredited claims. I think she's just pulling up stuff on fucking ChatGPT or Grok.com and see, I told you, this is a hurt woman, Sauce, a hurt woman that was fired here. Okay, from Turning Point USA, and supposedly she's not a Christian woman anymore because her boss literally fired her. You know what I'm talking about, that right? As soon as she got fired, she stopped believing in Christianity. Did you want to talk on that, Sauce?
Yeah. So from her standpoint, I don't know. I really think that she's probably she's like your Marjorie Taylor Greene at this point. She's just like your Liz Cheney. I lost all credibility in Marjorie. Yes, I know people are like, oh, how dare you go against Marjorie Taylor Greene, and how dare you go about that? She's a sweetheart. No, she's more like she'll go. Once you give her 5 cents to turn on, you'll give her 5 cents to turn on anyway. She'll do it in a heartbeat. And the fact that like she clearly wasn't doing her job, she was slow stepping, she was not meeting her quota, and she was trying to do her own agenda while counteracting the agenda of Turning Point USA. What do you think is going to happen if I did that at my job? If somebody's like, "Hey, Mr. Teamster, can you do this, this, and this?" I'm like, "Okay, absolutely." Then I go and start doing my own thing, and just to benefit and stuff. That's not a job. That's not being productive. That's being counterproductive, which Candace Owens clearly can't get through that her thick skull being counterproductive. That's why Charlie Kirk let her go, and that's why she's like, "Well, I can't be a Christian anymore." Well, if you can't be a Christian anymore just because you got let go, I really feel bad for you, and I'm probably gonna pray for you that you find God, but you never believed in God in the first place. And then somehow you went on ChatGTP and Grok and be like, you did that some sort of algorithm, and then I feel bad for the people that are believing in this garbage, saying, "Oh, look at Candace Owens, she's got the proof." I know that. I don't understand. It's like she's got her own following. It's like those people that are so-called Trump supporters, they're leading. It's like she's leading them astray. It's like that parable, like where the swine, where the swine, like this leader is like the bad leader, but they said that it was a good disciple. Then look what happens. They go off a cliff and then it ends up going into pits of hell. Well, I'm not saying they're all going to hell, but they're leading them in the wrong direction and it's going off the cliff. I truly feel bad, and Candace Owens should be held accountable and she should be canceled.
Yeah, you bring up some good points with Candace and even Georgia's Marjorie Taylor Greene, which I've have a lot of comments here as we kind of, we're going to close up here soon, guys, on the show. But I want to comment first on Marjorie Taylor Greene. For years I was a big supporter of what she's done for the state of Georgia, what she's done for her district out there in Rome, which is northwest Georgia, up near Cartersville and basically the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains there. And for years, I believed that. I believed what she was doing was right. But like the latest comments that she's making, she made a comment just the other day on The View, and she quotes this, that my own party I'm losing respect for because they are not listening to the Democrats. No shit, Marjorie. We haven't been listening to the Democrats for quite some time. We're fed up with the Democrats. They're creating deflection. They're creating delusional shit that is just not accurate. Do I believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene is in the phases, probably the beginning or maybe the middle phases of becoming a turncoat for the radical left? Absolutely. Absolutely. She's even going into that stance where she wants to run for governor of Georgia. And here's where it gets dangerous with this sauce. Could Marjorie Taylor Greene be the new label for the Democratic Party of Georgia as a governor and flipping that blue? Do you see her doing that?
No, I see her more as a turncoat, like more of a Liz Cheney kind of a person that likes the R because she knows if she were run as a governor, she can't win as a Democrat in governor. So the best way to do is you fool people by saying, "Well, I'm a Republican. I'm a Republican." These are the worst people that are in the Republican Party. Say they're Republican, but do the complete opposite, and they're the worst ones because they're like, they do the most amount of damage because you believe them and you trusted in them. And then it seems like you keep going back to them like, "Oh, okay, when things turn awry, you go to them like, "Hey, you know what's going on? Like, can I have your help and stuff? Can I get your vote?" And then they don't vote when push comes to shove and they turn against it. Like, "Well, what happened?" And then somehow the Republican Party is too gracious enough saying, "Oh, well, we can just forgive you. We can go back to you." And then they keep redoing that again. It's like a dog. When a dog vomits and then it goes back to its own vomit, which is like, that option, second opportunity, then it eats its own vomit and then it peaks it back up. It's like that analogy. I think this is where the Republican Party needs to take a stand and says, okay, you either are Republican or you're not. And if you're not, if you go on a View or if you go on some liberal channel and go completely counteractive or counterintuitive to what we stand and what we believe, and you start bashing, then we're going to excommunicate you from the Republican caucus of the House, and we're going to primary you out. That's how the best way to do it for the Georgia race. And then if you then you can run as an independent, then you won't have a chance to win. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I agree what you're saying. I agree what you're saying. So let's talk about candidates a little bit. I don't want to talk about crazy flip-flop. I got to call her flip-flop Marjorie. That's what she's known for. She likes flip-flopping shit. She's always been known for that. If you want a good person to create a crowd type of reaction and to get the crowd motivated in the message, hire Marjorie. She's good for that. I mean, if that's what you want, go ahead. Any type of policy, she's like the Republican version of AOC, right? I'd never really seen any type of proposal come out of Marjorie, to be honest with you. But I want to talk a little bit about candidates, because candidates, what's going on with candidates? Let's do the quick reality rundown here with candidates, right? Candace Owens, obviously once known as the fiery conservative commentator, right? The Daily Wire alumni until that completely basically went into a messy split, right? And self-proclaimed truth teller, right? What we're kind of going into now with Candace, right? She's coming up with all these claims with Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk, and I expect her probably to go along with that, that crazy narrative of JD Vance taking Ursha and putting her to the side, and eventually marrying Erica Kirk. They're having fun with that sauce on the internet. By the way, they're doing they're taking still videos from the event there, this Turning Point USA event, right, and CPAC, and they're taking these videos and they're doing this AI shit, right? Where they're showing them making out, right? She puts her hand on the back of his head and see, she's really a gold digger, right? Come on, guys, stop with that. Stop. Is Cannon's probably going to go along with the gravy train? Absolutely. So let's unpack a little bit of what's going on, Sauce, with this here.
You're probably gonna think I'm a horrible person, but I saw this AI that came across my feed where Erica Kirk was on Charlie Kirk's coffin. This is how horrible it got. Okay. And Candace Owen was so stupid and naive that that somehow, okay, she was so stupid and naive that she shared a video of Erica Kirk and Charlie Kirk, or Erica Kirk and JD Vance kissing, but Erica Kirk was on Charlie Kirk's coffin. Or casket, I should say. How degrading is that, and how just horrible that is? Words cannot explain how just insensitive that is, and how really, really travesty that is. And it's just very. But Candace Owens will do anything for clickbait at this point. And she'll do anything. Like, you give her 5 cents to say, "Oh, sauce is the best," and she'll do it anything. She'll put sauce is the best and stuff. And then the moment that I go counterintuitive, "Oh, well, sauce is a horrible meanie, and he's a Russian agent," just because.
Hey, sauce. If it's going to generate, 100,000 views or close to 1 million views, right? She'll do anything for attention at this point. I mean, her entire base, right, when she was actually part of Daily Wire and then Turning Point, right, was actually pretty damn good, right? Until she went into this crazy stuff. And she's gotten crazy where she does this stuff on the fucking on her videos where she'll go into lunatic type style gestures where she's like
her eyes move, and then she's grabs around, and if you see anything that goes like this, where she goes and grabs her hands and goes in front of her head and morphs into it, that you might want to. If I were her husband, I'd be filing for a divorce.
She turns into a bob. I would, yeah. She's turning into a bobblehead, like her and AOC, like they jump, right? You see AOC like jumping when she's like, "This is what we have to do. We have to." Like,
I think about her boyfriend Madani is going to win on Tuesday. Her boyfriend and Madani is going to win on Tuesday. Those, I think, you know what they ought to do. I think AOC, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Candace Owens. What they ought to do is they ought to go into one dark room in the dark retreat, put on masks, and screw each other as long as they want. That's what I say. And see
oh
who's
god,
That's
terrible.
what they all seem like. All baskets of deplorables. They are the true baskets of deplorables.
Yeah. So as we close up, guys, I do want to plug one more video here with Sauce. Sauce, I mean, he's going into the lion's den of radicalism and fighting them hard, guys. Check this out.
Nothing's just
Hello, guys. I hope you're having an awesome day because I sure am. Well, we are heading towards day 30 of the government shutdown. And I just want to touch on something quick. The fact that we have over 42 million people, yes, you heard it right, 42 million people on the food stamp/SNAP program is absolutely mind-boggling. Now, to me, if you are perfectly capable of working a 9-to-5 job or a part-time job, which is equivalent to 32 hours, a part-time job, then you are equivalent to not be on the SNAP program. Because 42 million people adds up really quick per month when you, with food stamps, with everything else. So I say cut that SNAP program by half and let's get the people back to work. Because when you work, you are happier. And stop feeding off the government and taking advantage. Remember to keep saucy.
Hey, Sauce, I want to speak on this real quick here, okay? I want to, yeah, guys, we're going all over the place today. Sauce, he kind of, I'm assuming he wanted to talk about the candidates thing, right? I think she's guys, you want me to be unfiltered with this, right? My unfiltered audience. I think she's a fucking lunatic. You are, Candace. You're a crazy woman. You are delusional. The claims you have are bullshit, right? Your best friend is grok.com, right? Or ChatGPT, if that's still, I know it exists though, but is it still a thing? I don't think so. Everybody's going to the Grok, right? If Grok says it, it's true. If Grok says it, look, guys. Another claim of Candace, right? Look, guys. Charlie Kirk was not Christian. He was buried in a Catholic cemetery. That's why he had his memorial at State Farm Arena in Arizona. She's going on like whatever Grok says, right? Like that. Come on, guys. You think I just made that up? Go on Grok. It says that right on Grok, and she's reading the script right off of Grok, right? She has her little producer right next to her, put the script right next to the monitor, right next to her laptop, right? You can't see it because the video is just pinned on like that center frame with her, the laptop, the corny, tacky coffee tumbler that she always has, and then her back wall area with books or something, right? They don't show the little script of what she's reading. She's literally reading this like, okay, flip, Mr. Producer, put the next slide in for Grok. I can't really read what Grok is telling me to say, right? That's what it says, literally. But enough of Candace. Candace, you're crazy. No one takes you seriously. Sas, let's talk a little bit about this food stamps because I want to go back to the food stamps. We kind of went all over the place. We're on the delusional roller coaster from the left. They're putting us all over the place today. So I want to talk more about this food stamp as we kind of close it out, right? The weaponization food stamps during the 2025 shutdown, because that's what they're doing, Sas. With the government shutdown dragging into its 33rd day, right? 33rd day, guys. Not by Donald Trump, by the Democrats. They voted over 13 times with those food stamps, but they don't want to compromise and they don't want to go in to some type of negotiation with the Republicans. So, Sas, 33 days. 33 days as of November 2nd. Today we're recording November 2nd. The Supplementary Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, aka food stamps, have become the hottest potato in Washington. Like you said, Sas, over 42 million Americans, kids, seniors, and working families under the poverty line face a full lapse of November benefits as of yesterday, sparking a blame bonanza. Bazana. Did I just make up that word? Bazana. Yeah, that's what it is, Sas. It's a bonanza. So comment real quick.
So you had me laughing with Candace Owens and her irrational decision making and her weird claims and stuff, and I was like laughing at it because
going all over the place. She's like a bobblehead. Yeah.
And if ChatGPT says it's real, then it's got to be real, guys. If Sason's single, it's got to be real because Google says it's real. Like if Earth is flat, then it's got to be flat because
Sas, don't forget to swipe to understand. That's what it's all about. It's swiping.
And if you subscribe, if you give me $50 a month, then I can tell you the truth because Grok, just give me $20 a month and then I'll reverse my statement on Charlie Kirk. It's like, Candace Owens I used to respect her. Don't get me wrong. I used to respect her. I really didn't follow that well. If I want to get a comedy or a kick out of it, if I want to get a laugh out of it, I just watch some of her videos and I laugh like a little schoolgirl. It's so funny. But I want to tell you with the whole SNAP program. Okay, going back to the topic at hand because I was just laughing and I was having a ball. I was having a good old time. Okay. I don't think with the whole SNAP program, how did it get so bad to the point that we have 42 million people relying on food stamps? Like, how did it get this bad?
It's the EBT apocalypse.
But how did it shouldn't gotten this bad. The fact that you had the SNAP program get as bad as it is now just shows you where we went wrong as a society, and just shows you that the Democrats don't care about your success. They don't care about anybody's success as long as if they can force you being on the government dole, then they can control your vote. If they can force you to say, hey, I'll give you some of this, but you're going to have to vote this ticket down, and then I'll give you SNAP. While taking your sense of thinking away. That's why there's 42 million people on SNAP, and I truly feel bad because it seems like those people on SNAP program are content. It's like they've never really seen the other side of being optimistic. They've never seen the side of working.
They're entitled, Sauce. Yeah, they're entitled. This is what it comes down to. They're entitled little people out there that feel that they must receive free food every month. Every month on the 1st, they must receive free food by the taxpayer, right? That's right, Sas. As a taxpayer, hold on. As a taxpayer, you must fund these lazy sons of bitches out there. You must, as a taxpayer, increase your taxes to 400% to feed the complacent people out there. That's how they feel, Sas.
Or they're like, and if not, then it is your fault. Like then it's like a victim. Like, oh man, we got to do that, and we feel so bad. While they are perfectly fine at getting other subsidies, and they're the ones that are going to the food. They're the ones that are going to the shelters. Okay, they're the ones that are going to the shelters and going to the food pantries and taking food away from actual people that need real food. It's a very sickening and very troubling time. And again, I think that the SNAP program should be revamped and should be fully audited and taking a lot of illegal immigrants on. Now, I do believe, here's where I kind of do, I'm going to watch what I say. If you are a veteran that is just got out of the military, that's having a hard time getting on his feet, then you can access SNAP. If you are a person that's got some sort of mental hindrance, like a mental illness or the thing that hinders you from working, then you can have a SNAP program. Then you are entitled to that because if you don't have any legs, or if you can't actually work because of some sort of cancer or some sort of illness, then go for it. But Michael and I are talking about perfectly healthy, capable men and women that are very young, between 20 and 40 years old. That is the majority of that population. That is the population of about 35 million people during that from 25 to 40 years old, there's over 35 million people that are on Snap that shouldn't be on Snap.
Well, you're not the only one that's saying it, Sauce. You have Laura Loomer on X right now saying the same thing. Laura Loomer basically said the very same thing that Sauce is saying. That Sauce go on Grok 2.0 or Grok.com and say, oh, Laura Loomer said it, so it must be true. No. Sauce is an intelligent person. But this is where they get you, folks, right? You got people like Democrat users, right? Well, I'm going to put her tag out there so you can actually look at this, that I'm not making shit up, right? I'm not going on Grok, guys. You got Democratic users like Laura, right? At Laura 22162587. Let's put her out there. Let's make her famous. Firing back, stating this, right? And you can look for yourselves because she actually said it, right? Saying this, MAGA sucks up Trump's lies. Intelligent people see through it. What are they sucking up? They're not sucking up anything. Another one putting this out where you have conservative posts that are now tagging Democratic senators like Mazie Hirono, Cory Booker, just to name a few, for voting to starve children. Those are the ones that are literally starving the country, folks, not Republican leaderships. Those are the ones like Cory Booker and others. You have Nancy Pelosi that's voting against it. You have Chuck Schumer that's voting against it. Hell, you even have AOC, right? Bobblehead queen of herself, right? She jumps up when she's trying to make points. She's like, we must put the microphone back up. We must, right? That's what she does. Like this is the problem, folks. Right. So I'm gonna go there right here, and I'm sorry, Sauce, I'm talking over you, but I got to get this out there. Right. Polls right now are showing that Dems. Right. This is what they're saying. Maybe the polls are right, maybe they're not. But maybe you can be the one to judge this. That Dems lead blame game, which I truly believe this. Right. Maybe this poll is actually accurate. 46% versus 38% for the GOP. But cracks show, here's the cracks that Sauce was referring to with the unions. The unions are now begging Democrats to cave. And even Senator John Fetterman, right? Which I call a Republican in sheep's clothing, right? He's a closet Republican. I don't care what you. No, Savage. He's a Democrat from Pennsylvania. You're right. He does represent Pennsylvania, but he also stated this, that the Dems need to own this. This is coming from your own party member of the Democratic Party, Fetterman. Right, everybody jokes around and calls him Dr. Festerman, right? From the Addams family because of his bald head. Well, I hate to say this, Festerman or Fetterman, however you want to label him, is actually the most intelligent member of the Democratic Party, and this is coming from a conservative, for that matter. So this is what's going on, Sauce. It really is, folks. But
with that whole, I really think that John Fetterman should just be a Republican at this point because he supports Israel, number one. He supports closed borders, number two. And he supports opening up the government and kind of having an oversight on food stamps and SNAP program. And that's exactly what the bottom line. But at the same time, he's getting, and like he even said it himself, apparently when you support that, you're considered a MAGA extremist. Well, this shows you how unequivocally the Democrat Party has shifted over to like the super far left ideology, and how they're really against the American, they're against you actually, and that they don't support anyone, they don't support America first, and that they truly hate America with a passion, and it's very sickening, and it's very troubling to see, and you only wonder how bad are things going to get. And if they ever get in power, you're going to see this nation crumble like you've never seen before. You thought 2021 to 2025 was bad, or 2024 was bad. Wait till they get in. It's bad. And it just shows you how the communist McCarthyism is truly plaguing this nation, and that it is that communism is plaguing this nation. That they're the ones that are communists. They're the ones that are blaming oligarchy, and I can't get off of this like whole thing oligarchy and like tax the rich and tax this. Haven't you noticed that Bernie Sanders and AOC stopped saying, well, tax the millionaires? Before they used to say tax the millionaires, because they are millionaires. They are billionaires. They are. But they don't dare talk about their own party. They don't dare talk about Mark Cuban. They don't dare talk about anybody else. They only talk about the people on the right. They only talk about Elon Musk. They don't dare touch George Soros. They don't dare touch.
Of course not. Those are the ones that are funding it, Sauce. They're a bunch of hypocrites, right? And I can't stand how they put this out there, right? Who puts this garbage out? I'm looking at an article right now, and I'm going to paraphrase a little bit as we kind of close out here on the show, okay? And I want to get Sauce's insights on this, folks, because Sauce is like he's political 101 on everything. That's why I respect the hell out of him, right? BBC.com puts this out, right? Which is complete garbage, if you ask me. Trump administration must continue food aid during shutdown, according to some federal U.S. judges, which they are saying, okay, that the Trump administration cannot suspend food aid used by about 42 million low-income families, okay? But they are also, okay, some of these federal judges are also, okay, stating that the taxpayers that fund the entire program, that's okay to keep on taking from them, because that's what the Democratic Party has become, folks, in the last 40 plus years now. After JFK, the party completely died out. I think JFK, if he was still alive, he might have been able to resurrect the Democratic Party into some type of sovereignty of existence, but I think it's dying out. Okay, they also go into saying that the ruling said that the government must pay for the SNAP program and the benefits, okay, using emergency funds. Emergency funds. President Trump also said that he instructed government lawyers to ask the courts how the administration could illegally fund SNAP, adding, if we get immediate guidance, it will unfortunately be delayed. And that's true. Sas, the emergency funds, what emergency funds are they talking about? Are they talking about tariffs that are coming into the country? Is that a form of emergency funds? Or what is these emergency funds?
I don't know. It's just, when do these judges have so much power? When do we elect the judges on behalf of America? That's what I want to know. When did we elect judges like Jonesburg or the judge out of D.C. saying that, like, well, we have to use emergency funds? Well, I don't know what emergency funds are talking about. Like, are you talking, if it's an emergency fund talking about money to give into Ukraine, I'll take that over any day, because that would be great. But if you're talking about that we should force some, like, more of a special tax so that we can allocate the special, like, the emergency funds, then I'm sorry, that's not how that goes. Or are you talking about the emergency funds that somehow paid into the student loan debt that was given stuff? You see what they're trying to do? That somehow these unelected bureaucrats, like the judges, these Obama and Biden appointed judges, I think it's okay to walk all over the Constitution and say, no, well, we're gonna overrule you, and we are gonna be in charge. We are the true executive branch. We're gonna go beyond the Constitution, and that you guys cannot. We're gonna hold you hostage. I don't understand that.
Sauce, all they need is a 7-8 flip. That's all they need. But the Democrats are blocking it for a $1.5 trillion wish list. You know what that wish list is? That's what they are doing, folks. They are literally, they're setting it back even further. Now, also, too, think of this here, okay? Now, within that wish list, I want to go into something even further with this, all right? Because now the messaging is coming out with Trump's cruelty of starving babies, which was said also recently with Harris and Schumer, right? They went on the record saying that he's starving babies, and then completely went unhinged. If you ask me, Kamala Harris was in an interview saying, "What fucking right does that?" She actually said, "Fuck. What fucking right?" Which I thought she was probably drunk for saying it. She had to be drunk. Right. And then They also, the lawsuits, 25 plus AG suits, 25. Okay. This is, and then some kind of emergency declaration coming from the state of Delaware, right? This is, first of all, let me close it out with this. Sas, maybe a minute or less, and then we're closing it out, okay? But I got people reaching out to us on X and a few other platforms. This is a hot topic, and it should be. I'm going to say this, Sas, okay? All right? All right, folks? This is what I say about this. Food stamps is not a right. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. Put up the little, we're going to have fun with this, right? Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel. See the raindrops, folks? That's right. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. Food stamps is not a right. It is a privilege, and it could be taken away tomorrow. That's right. We could take away food stamps tomorrow if we wanted to. We, the people that fund the fucking program, we could say no more. We're not funding it anymore. We are not having our taxes go up and up and up because we go to work every single day, and some of them don't want to go to work. They want to live in Section 8 housing. They want to literally take away from one class of people to give to the next. I'm sorry. I'm not being cruel or mean. I shouldn't have to work every single day. Okay? Whether doing this podcast or whether doing production sets in Hollywood, I shouldn't have to do that, folks. I shouldn't have to bust my ass to pay for somebody out in suburban America somewhere or somewhere in the city because they want to sit on their fucking nice little couch that they got from Aaron's or Amazon.com or anything, right? That they probably took out a loan for to begin with. And guess who's paying that loan? It comes from the taxpayers. How does it come from the taxpayer? Where do you think it comes from? The banks fund it from the taxpayers. Guys, it all adds up. This is getting ridiculous. It really is. And it needs to stop. It is not a right. It is a privilege. Stop thinking it is a right, Sas. I mean, do you agree or not? Because you bring up military, right? Yes, the military should be taken care of. Seniors should be taken care of, but they are entitled to that because they worked their entire lives and they're serving our nation.
But I'm talking about my ages between 25 and 40, the 32 million people that are perfectly healthy, that people that you see on TikTok saying, and then also talking about the illegal immigrants that have been put upon the dole so that they can buy votes. That's who I'm talking about. That's the 32 million people I'm talking about. The 7 million other people, those 7 million people are comprised of people that's got some disability that they can't be allowed to work. Number one. Number two, they either have some sort of cancer or some sort of or illness that can't just allow them to work at all, or military veterans that are like having a hard time getting on their feet. Those are the three people I'm exempting from. But I'm talking about the 32 million people that are illegal immigrants that are getting paid more in food stamps. It's $135 a month for an illegal immigrant compared to $35 a month for an American citizen. That's who I'm talking about. I don't understand why it is our duty to cover somebody's expense bill when they don't want to work. And I posted this video, this Iraqi veteran, this Iraq citizen. I don't know if you saw that on my feed.
I didn't see it. Was it today or was it?
No, it was a couple days ago where he was saying, I'm going to leave this country because I'm not getting my food stamps. Well, you know what? You're here illegally. So if you want to go, then go for it. Leave this country because that's not how it works. You do not belong here. If you're going to be taking advantage of our government dole. That's not how it works. That's the thing that ticks me off.
Well, Sas, I put this out there. Absolutely, totally, 100%, folks. I don't know if you can see in the graphic here, but those that are viewing us on audio, nothing is free in this nation. Nothing is free. No one has a right, okay, especially with food stamps or any type of welfare program, to take from one class of individuals as an American citizens and give to the less. I shouldn't even use less fortunate. because at this point, they're not less than fortunate. They know damn well what they're doing. Every single time where they have to re-up their food stamps, re-up their welfare programs, re-up their Section 8, they know damn well what they're doing. Damn well. And the ones that come up to me and say, no, Savage, they don't, of course they know. They have some type of intelligence in their brain. God doesn't give you a brain without some form of intelligence. Everyone has intelligence to an extent. Some people are a little bit more smarter than others. I will give that the benefit of the doubt, but they know damn well what they're doing. Damn well, but they do it every single time. This is becoming the Democratic doomsday of the agenda, folks. Doomsday. This is the fear that they want you to live in, that you will always be less fortunate because you were not born like Donald Trump that have a silver spoon in his pocket. You weren't lucky as... No, everyone has the opportunity to do anything in this nation. If you want to run a business, if you want to establish a company, you have that opportunity. That's why people that were coming into this nation some 100 years ago, almost 200 years ago now, through Ellis Island, they knew the American dream. They knew what this country can provide. Do you see that now? No. The new immigrant, they don't come to America the way our early immigrants came. Now they know the system. They come because of the food stamps, the welfare, all that stuff. They know it's going to get provided to them because there's two groups of politicians. You have ones that honor the Constitution and the system within the Constitution that provides to legal immigrants. And then you have the radical left that does not honor anything what the Constitution is made up. They don't honor any of that. And they cater to these illegal criminals. Not all of them are criminals. Hold on, guys. Okay, as I land my plane here. Okay, they are not all criminals. Some of them, small percentage, small. I'll give 10%. 10% out of 90%. Maybe trying to come in here to provide for their families, but that's only a small percent. 90% of them are coming in for what I just mentioned. Sas, a minute or less. I know we're kind of going over, but a minute or less. What do you think we should do, buddy, with what's going on with this?
I would say that the majority of the people that want to come in here that care for their family do it the right way. And I'm thinking that so I think giving them like the 90% is a little bit too high of a number. About 10% are doing it the right way. I would say that if you're trying to help out your family, if you want to improve your life, you would do it the right way. And I'm seeing that, I see that countless stories, and we have a person in town that they wanted to better their family. So they went to become American citizen the right way. They spent the time. The people that do come across the border are your human traffickers, your rapists, your pedophiles. The list can go on, gangbangers, your gang members. And so that's why I cannot see that 10% that you said is too high of a number. Maybe give her about 98% and give them about 2% of
2%.
people doing it the right way. That's
2%.
2%. You gave them, you're a little bit gracious. I give them 2%.
2%. Guys, as we close out, I do want to say thank you for those that have stuck around the comments. Hey, I appreciate the hell out of it. Some of us will agree. Some of us will not agree. I will not agree with the people that, have their say on how food stamps should be funded and allocated. I don't believe in that one damn bit. I don't. I don't believe in that. But here is my insights as we close out, okay? Sauce kind of dipped out, but he's back. I'm going to give Sauce the benefit of the doubt here for plugging his stuff here in about a minute here, but I got to get this out here. I do want to say thank you to a really good friend of mine, which is now part of our record label of Savaged Army, which you can catch our music on Spotify through Savaged Army, which is available on Spotify. It's an exclusive Spotify label through our record label of Savaged Army. We are actually partnered with DistroKid. So big hat tip to DistroKid Records for putting this music out there. But I want to give a shout out and kudos to my good friend Kylie O'Brien for putting this song out there. I know it's catching some attention on TikTok. A couple of my followers on TikTok, more than a couple actually, several followers on TikTok with other platforms are now appreciating this song called Cadence / damn mind. So it's really a hoot, guys. You got to listen to that. Cannon's Our Damn. I had it backwards. Cannon's Damn Mind. Sorry, guys. I'm so excited about this. So check that out, guys, through Savaged Army, through DistroKid Records, as well as Radical Eyes, which I filled in with a lot of the voiceover work and, of course, the mic skills. You can catch that, guys. Radical Eyes kind of goes into what we were discussing here on the program. So check that out. Also want to give my friend over in New Jersey another shout out, Gen X Robert, which will be special co-hosting the show live in a, I want to call it a put together studio in New Jersey for our Stomping Grounds Tour 2026. The first stop will be in New Jersey. Other locations and stops will be announced shortly in the weeks, so stay tuned to that. Also, too, guys, this week, the Savaged Army merchandise shop will be back up and running, so check that out at savagedarmy.com. It's been a long time, guys, but we're finally bringing it back with some new set of merchandise, so check that out, as well as a new book coming out, guys, and as well as the end of this week, called Weaponizing Words into Violence, the Left's War. So check out my latest book. Other than that, guys, I pretty much have, I think I covered all of it. Sas, anything you want to plug before we kind of dip out?
Yes. So I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to come on your show for today. And hopefully we can try to make this more of a consistent appearance. And again, you're more than welcome to follow me on TikTok at Sauce Newell or something like that, and then Sauce Newell on X, and then Saucelin Newell Timonson on Facebook, and then of course Only Sauce Only Fans on Instagram. You're more than welcome to follow me on those things.
Oh my God, Sauce has an OnlyFans. He's naked. No, I'm just joking. No.
So, and again, I want to say thank you so much for giving this opportunity, and it feels great to be back on air.
I appreciate it. Don't check that out, guys. It's a terrible scene if you see Sauce naked on OnlyFans. No. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for dropping by, guys. I am Savaged. Other than that, guys, make sure you hit that like, follow button on any major platform, including Spotify or our regular house network. And till next time, guys, see you next week for our scheduled show on Tuesday. Take it easy, guys.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.